Welcome back to the 9PL podcast, where the podcasts are no longer than 9 minutes. Make sure you like and subscribe on all of our channels. Welcome to another team entry, the North Coast Marlins, Mr. Francis Bennett. Thank you very much for coming back in, mate.
Yep, thanks for having us.
So one of the quotes last year, I was walking around and funnily enough, you entered two teams. So you got footy to your eyeballs. You absolutely love it, which is great. I had one of your players actually come over and say, I just watched one of my childhood heroes in Jeremy Smith just smash someone, then come off the field, take a photo with me, then go back on.
Yeah.
That was one of the highlights for me, is hearing the community members that you'd brought along say how much fun they'd had. What did you enjoy about the comp last year?
From the start, obviously, for yourself was a big thing too, making it easy for us to put a side in and answering all our questions and getting the boys obviously on the paddock. That was a real standout for us, again, coming back this year. And then, like you said, about the boys, having those childhood dreams of those players and stuff, the caliber of player that's there. And then I think just the environment. No one was stuck up. Everyone was just there to play footy. And then just the dynamic of the nines too. That's the biggest thing for us coming back in again. So
yeah, I think the culture of it certainly is driven from the ground up, and you actually had two teams in last year, which was excellent. This year, rebranding, creating your own side, which is awesome. We love tournament teams. We think that that's the best way to do it. Tell us about the North Coast Marlins, and give us the background of it. How'd you come up with that name? And
so I can't take the name or the Marlins. So the wife actually come up with the North Coast because we live on the North Coast. The boys are anywhere from Brisbane to the Gold Coast. And then the Marlins name actually comes from one of our sponsors, Freedom Plan Management. Beck is her name. She actually came up with the Marlins, and it's pretty handy too because they're a sports fish. They're hard to get their hands on. So that's what we're looking for with North Coast Marlins.
Yeah, very creative. I suppose you got a lot of support. Clearly, you've got some decent sponsorship already.
Yeah.
I suppose due to the person that you are and also the makeup of your side. Tell us about what support you sort of have coming into this comp. I suppose enabling you to be able to put it in this team.
Yep. So again, Freedom Plan Management is one of them. Beck there, and then we've got X2 Projects on the hat here. I actually work for X2 Projects, so Tim and Sam, the twin brothers, they played all their sort of local footy up at Springwood. I've known them for over 20 years, and they just give them back. They obviously handy sponsor there to have, and then Bear Electrical, they're everything electrical, from shop fit outs to commercial. So that those guys on board as well. They've supported us with the sponsorship there. Yep.
Perfect. Well, it'll be good to have them down there as well. I know that we're having some different activations in around the tournament, so having them along on the Thursday night and obviously to the Saturday post celebration will be fantastic. I suppose that aside, who can you tell us who's you've been? I know you're pretty handy at your recruitment. Who have you got that you could sort of name drop that's playing for you in the 2024 comp?
So the 24 comp, we've got a lot of returning from the 23 comp. But to give you one name, again, he's a returning player. So Campbell, he was a standout last year. Plays in the Gold Coast competition in A grade. He was one of our leaders last year. I thought he was really handy. So he's definitely back. We also have the hitman Hobbs.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, Hobbsy's done an injury, so he won't be playing. So he'll be assistant coach, a.k.a. the coach.
Yeah, right.
He'll be running waters. He'll be management. He'll be first aid. He'll be anything he has to be on the day. So he's definitely there. And then a guy called Cam Newell, middle forward, lock, playing A grade at the moment, or 23, played A grade. Really handy with the football, really quick. Really competitive, so we're looking forward to him. As for the rest of them, we've sort of said as a group that we're all equal this year. So that's the biggest thing for us. Don't worry about the one or two players a name. Just watch out for the North Coast Marlins. So
yeah, I don't know about that. I have heard on the rumour mill that you've approached Mr. Guy Hamilton from the Burleigh Bears, and hopefully he is available because he was arguably the best player in the comp behind Keanu Keeney.
Yeah.
So, if you can jag him, obviously he's probably hanging out for a training trial at an NRL club, and fingers crossed he gets one because he certainly deserves it. But if he's running around in a Marlins jersey, I think it'll be brilliant as well. What are you looking to get out of the tournament, I suppose, in 24?
So 24, again, to break up that season for the boys as well. They're getting into preseason November, December, and January. So definitely to break that up for them. Success. A lot of these guys who played in that team last year, they weren't A-grade, reserve grade players playing, so they felt success in that Nines tournament, and they felt more success than what they did in their own clubland. So. And at the end of the day, Southern Sharks, they own the crown, so we're coming for Southern. So,
Perfect. Yeah, share that to them because I know that they've approached James Maloney and a couple of other players on the South Coast who'll be having a run around from. So that'll be an interesting makeup as to who they bring from that Illawarra region. What do you find gives you kicks in being able to be I suppose so community driven and create these teams and bring these groups of people together?
Yeah, so as a footy coach, giving back for the game that, for me personally, it's helped me in so many ways, as a person, as a role model, on the field, it taught me discipline. It's taught me all these structures in life. So, that's the biggest thing for me as well. So,
Yep.
yeah.
And I suppose style of play.
Yep.
I mean, it's one thing bringing a group of boys together and having a barbecue and a meet and greet. Most blokes can get along, but what's your style of play that you're going to be going for? You're high attacking, you're going to be more of a defensive outfit, sort of what's your focus?
So focus will be, turning up, having those foundations defensively against the high end sides that are coming into the competition. That'll be a really big focus. But then at the same time, again, these guys at Clubland, they're so structured and they don't get to showcase their one-on-ones. So this is us. We want those one-on-ones, those moments that they're going to get at the Nines, and we want them to take them with both hands. So
yeah, I really enjoy that part of the nine-a-side format because it's a little bit more expansive. There is a little bit more space. You have to work obviously a little bit harder, but I think that it gives opportunity for players who may or less don't get it in 13 or 15 if you're playing rugby, or sevens if it's too stretched. So I think certainly from watching mix and match last year and also Rochdale themselves, you had some really, really handy players. And I think that now you've got a tournament side that you're bringing together, you're hand selecting the right guys, and there will be a lineup, I'd only assume, by the time sort of December rolls around and it's starting to heat up and we are promoting the comp more and more. So I'm interested to see what your format sort of looks like in a couple of months' time. Any final words for the Marlins before I catch up with you in a couple of months' time, mate?
I suppose, boys, just for the Marlins and anyone who's supporting us, just turn up. I kid you not, this is the second year for us coming in, and we loved it the first time. But yeah, for the boys, obviously the North Coast Marlins, suit up, boys, we're coming in.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers, thank you.